What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Taurean Reloaded channel. If you are new, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and also make sure to hit that bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video or go live. Have your notifications set to all. Also, be sure to like, comment, share this content on your various social media platforms. So today we are taking a trip to New York, where you have this individual that you see right here in the picture by the name of Theodore Ellis. He is 31 years of age, and he was taken into custody because not only was this guy intoxicated, but it's because of the action in which he did while he was intoxicated. This man pushed a 52-year-old woman onto the subway tracks. Luckily, there was no oncoming train. But the fact of the matter is that he pushed her into the oncoming tracks. And what a lot of people don't realize is how high off of the ground the platform on these train stations are. They're not sitting solid, they're not sitting like right there at your feet. Like if you go down into those train tracks and there's no train coming, that's a bit of a fall, especially if you get pushed over. Like you're going to fall, and there's most likely going to be an injury because you're either going to hit that hard floor in between the tracks, or you're going to hit the track itself, which we all know is pretty much made of steel metal. But this guy literally went to this woman and pushed her off of the platform onto the tracks. And on top of that, it was on the tracks that were above ground. Literally they were above ground. It wasn't the underground track. It was the above track. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this article that was posted from the New York Post on June 7, 2022. The sicko suspected of randomly shoving a woman onto subway tracks in the Bronx was arrested Tuesday after an eagle-eyed MTA worker recognized him from a wanted poster and flagged down cops. Theodore Ellis, age 31, was taken into custody just before noon at the Jackson Avenue station in Melrose, the same station where he shoved his 52-year-old victim onto the roadbed Sunday afternoon, cops said. An MTA worker recognized Ellis from wanted posters hung up at the station and flagged down police, who put him in cuffs and charged him with assault and reckless endangerment, according to cops and NYPD sources. The worker told police that Ellis was a regular illegal swipe seller at the station, sources said. When cops interviewed him, he made incriminating statements and said he couldn't remember what the victim said to piss him off, but claimed he didn't show his own strength, a police official said. Chilling surveillance video showed Ellis allegedly grabbing his victim by the waist and whipping her onto the tracks in a seemingly unprovoked attack. At the time, no train was entering the station, and fellow riders were able to pull the woman off the tracks and back to safety. She was taken to Lincoln Hospital with cuts on her head and arm and remained there Tuesday. Ellis has numerous past arrests dating back to 2006, including raps for aggravated harassment, narcotics, robbery, grand larceny, animal abuse, resisting arrest, obstruction, and assault. Now, this is dating back to 2006. Now, look at his age. He's 31. 2006, he had to be 14, because I'm 2 years older than him. If he just turned 31 this year, that is. If he just turned 31 this year, that means he had to be 14 back when his criminal past started, which means he started very young. He started at 14. He was a teenager. And look at all the stuff that he has to his name from then to now. That means over about half his life, a good chunk of his life, he had criminality on him. But this one right here is probably one of the worst ones, because this one right here could have caused this woman, she could have died. If she had hit her head, she could have got a concussion, at the least, died at the worst. If she would have fell and hit her head, say on those tracks, or if there was an oncoming train, then he could have, that's an instant death right there. But I'm glad that they caught him. But like I said, it's some weirdos out there. But that's why one thing that you have to make sure that you do when it comes to these trains is please, please, please do not stand so close to the platform. One thing it comes to me is when I have to wait on the train, I always make sure to stand a little far back, like stand in that middle part, of the platform, because how our trains work, the train, most train systems work this way. We'll have trains coming on both sides of the platform, whether you're going one way or another. I like to stay far back. I do not like to stand close to the platform because of fear that I might, lose my balance and fall onto the track, or someone might come behind me and bump me and I fall onto the track. That's one thing that, you don't do. You just want to make sure that you're standing like as far away from the platform as you possibly can. One thing that'll let you know when the train is coming, well, for me in the area I live, is that they have light bulbs on the floor. And when the train gets to a certain point, they activate, and what'll happen is the lights will blink on the floor to let you know the train is coming. There's also signs there that tell you that it'll say ARR, which means arriving, which means you know that the train is coming as well if you don't pay attention to those lights on the floor, so the lights aren't working. But other than that, I'm not standing close to the edge of that platform because too many things happen so fast. You just never know how people's minds work out here. Now, I heard somewhere else that this guy was intoxicated, but I didn't see it stated anywhere in the article that he was. He said that he wasn't in his right mind, or he didn't know his own strength. He must have thought, it kind of reminds you of that Whitney Houston song, but I didn't know my own strength. But the point of the matter is that he pushed this woman onto these tracks. And hopefully these charges are something that can stick to him for a while, and hopefully jail time is in his future and a fine, something to pay this woman's hospital bills and everything like that, because he definitely deserves it. And that woman is extremely lucky to be alive and not to have any major injuries. But you got to think she's 52 years of age. So she's at that time where healing is not as fast for her as it was when she was probably around his age. This guy is young enough to be her son. Keep that in mind. And he just went up to her and pushed her. Now, they said that there was they don't have any proof that she started something with him to make him push her or anything like that. But at this point, it's besides the point, because from what I'm gathering, it doesn't look like, based on any witnesses that were there, no one came forward and said that she did anything to him to provoke him to make him push her onto the tracks. He just went and did it. And him having that criminal past doesn't help him either. It makes him look even more worse in the eyes of the public. So hopefully he gets a good lawyer that can, if they can find a way to get him up out of it, but hopefully they don't. He needs to pay the price for what he did. And he better hope that this woman doesn't have any, sons of her own, any grown sons of her own, or maybe even some grandkids that won't come and deal with him. But if they do, it's very much warranted. And all I can say is if he gets out, from this, he better be careful where he stands at on a train platform, or hell, even in oncoming traffic. Because in New York, that traffic is ridiculous. And that's my take on it.